Okay, hi guys, my name is Coach Brian. For those of you here last time, we learned about 500 facts about nutrition. Tonight I want to get your questions. We're talking race day nutrition and the night before, the morning of, during the race, and after the race. So does anyone have any questions to start off with? Otherwise I can talk for a while. Questions? No, you guys must have questions. The Miami Marathon is next weekend, and what do you do every 30 minutes in a half marathon or a marathon? Every 30 minutes. I'm going to ask you guys questions.
Take a gel.
Good answer. So what I do is I alternate Marten with Roctane. Now you can use whatever you want. I like Marten because it does well in my stomach. It is one of the higher end, quote, more expensive brands, but it's what a lot of professionals use. And Marten is they call it Marten.
Bring a few up.
It's a very scientifically formulated, easy to digest. It has a consistency like a space gelatin. It's different than a goo. This is a Roctane made by Goo. Very different than this. This is more fancy, newer kind of technology. I've used it in the Boston Marathon. I've used it in many marathons. They hand it out in London, Berlin, Boston, the bigger marathons. It does go down easy. It doesn't cause me any issues, and I'm prone to getting a little bit of an upset stomach once in a while. I stay away from the espresso ones because they give me more acid reflux. So I take a Marten. They have a caffeinated one, which is white, and a non-caffeinated one. Now those are 100 calories each. You want to take a 100-calorie gel every 30 minutes in a marathon or half. They say 30 to 40 minutes, but I believe on being on the earlier side, which is called preloading. You don't want to be to the point where you're dying, and sometimes, just like when you don't know you're full till you wait 10 minutes after you eat, same thing with your hydration and nutrition. In the race, you want to be 10 minutes ahead of what your brain is thinking, if that makes sense. So the pros, they call it preloading, and they do it before the race, on the starting line, mile 3. They don't wait until mile 10 when they're already dehydrated if they haven't had any water. So water is important to take in every mile, 1 ounce, 1 to 2 ounces every mile. Every opportunity. This is a quick informal nutrition talk at Runners Depot, and then we're going to start a run. We're starting the run at 6:30. Right now we're just talking nutrition. I'm trying to share a couple of quick tidbits, but I want to ask questions. And the next question is going to be interesting. So again, a gel every 30 minutes. So for marathoners, that means you might need 5 or 6 gels. For half marathoners, you might need 4. You want to take a gel 20 minutes before the race, or 30 minutes. That's really important. That's called preloading. As well, you want to have 300 to 400 calories 2 hours before a half marathon, and 500 to 600 calories 2 to 3 hours before a full marathon. So you do need to wake up early. You need to start practicing taking in calories 2 to 3 hours before a long run, which one way to do it is with the powdered carbs. And they sell them here. I didn't bring it out, but it's called Tailwind. Tailwind is a great product. I personally met the CEO. It's a powder. They have different flavors, and it's a carb powder. And you can wake up, and the second you roll out of bed, you can have yourself a carb drink that will have potentially 200 or 300 calories in it. And then have a banana, and then have a gel, and right there you have 500 calories. Banana is about 80 to 100 calories. A gel is 100. You get some of these candies. They got these sport blocks. They got Jelly Belly things now. They're called sport beans. Those are my favorite. Kids love those. Those taste just like jelly beans. They have B vitamins, caffeine sometimes. Be careful if it's the caffeine. Caffeine's good. We had this discussion last time. It helps you burn fat rather than carbs. And caffeine should be mainly taken in the second half of the race. I don't like to take it early unless you need a cup when you wake up, because it can strip a lot of the electrolytes out of you. And you have to be extra cognizant or focused on your electrolytes if you're drinking coffee. If you're having caffeine in general, you should be okay though. It's just gonna increase your heart rate. It is good sometimes before a race, but I like it more at the halfway point because it's gonna give you the focus you need in the second half of the race. And instead of burning carbs in the first half, you wanna burn fat in the second half, hopefully, because your body, you need to keep replenishing your carbs, but you're gonna run out of carbs. You don't run out of fat, is the bottom line. Question?
So what should you not have definitely for breakfast on the race?
Okay, good question. Yeah, the 101s of what not to do before a marathon, either the night before or the morning of, and even race week, is nothing spicy. If you're a spice lover, which I am, cut the spices race week. Okay? Just axe all spices, even black pepper. You can have a little salt, keep your electrolytes going, but take out all spices race week, especially the night before. and red sauces and anything acidic, stop within 24 hours. Within 12 hours of the race, stop high fiber. High fiber items, stop. Anything that, sweet potatoes maybe the night before, but that still has a lot of fiber. Bananas have fiber, but you can deal with that race morning. Your body's used to it. But I had a friend who's a pro who took too many dried apricots before a major marathon. He'd never had to go to the bathroom before, and he swore it was from the dried apricots. And dried apricots do have a lot of fiber, so they will push anything out of you, and you know what I'm talking about. So you don't want to have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, so don't have, the pros like to eat white flour the night before and the morning of and the day before, which is strange because it's not nutritious. It's like the opposite of your intuition. But they will eat, saltine crackers, white pasta, white rice, all these things that have zero fiber because they want the carbs, but they don't. But that's a better reason is take the carb drink, which I've really gotten into. When I went to London in September and ran the marathon, I was drinking carb drinks all over the airplane ride there and back, and the weeks leading up to it. And wherever you are, you can drink a carb drink. So Tailwind is my favorite. And do we have Tailwind? Can you show them a Tailwind real quick? And then, I know we have to get started here. We got 2 or 3 more minutes. You guys heard me talk about hydration. Here's a question for the crowd. What is the most important thing to do the day before your race, besides resting, and during your race? The most important thing, more important than your carbs, what is the most important thing in a marathon?
Drinking water.
Electrolytes.
Yes, you nailed it. You get a special prize. You get a special prize. I'll get Andrew. First try, we got it. It's so important, guys, because you can go to the hospital if you don't do it right. And I don't want to scare anyone, but my mom was a pharmacist, and literally, you can get hyponatremic, which is meaning that you have not enough salts in you. You'd rather have too much. When you have too much salts in you, which you can hyperload, just like you can use iron, vitamin C, carbs. Those are loading items. You can also load on B vitamins, beets. You can load on electrolytes, and there will be no damage to your body. It causes your body to hang on to extra water. You will feel a little puffy. That is the side effect of too much electrolytes. The side effect in a marathon of not enough electrolytes is going to the hospital and potentially dying. And it is very rare, but it happens. And I even had to call 911 once from a long run when I didn't do it right. 2 long runs back to back. I didn't hydrate well. I was in Miami Beach during the daytime. I had to call 911 because my heart rate went insane. I couldn't move. And they said it was probably a salt issue. They got me back, and they might have to give you an IV. I've had IVs at the finish line into Bahamas. Basically, you want to take in salt stick, any type of salt electrolyte, Noon, which we have right here. They have ones with and without caffeine. You can drink this all day. And also, I recommend Salt Stick or Enduro Lights, which is sell here, or a product my friend makes called Salus, which is in Miami. And basically, you can take those for 2 to 3 days before the marathon. I start to take more the night before. So during my sleep and the night before, I will literally take a whole day's worth. Like if a packet has 3 tablets per serving of electrolytes, I will take that many right before I go to bed the night before a marathon. And then, drinking water throughout the night, sometimes water with carbs / electrolytes, your Noon in the water, just by your bedside. It's important. You're gonna be going to the bathroom the night of the marathon or half. And then the morning of, when you wake up, first thing you put in your body is more electrolytes, which is Noon, bananas, coconut water, and Tailwind, which has electrolytes, and also the tablets. Trust me, in Miami, it's important. And so the bottom line is, if you do that, you will have a more pain-free experience, and you will enjoy the marathon. If you don't, you're going to have really bad cramps everywhere. So my number one advice is to go heavy on the electrolytes. Also go heavy on iron race week, because iron helps you have more energy by creating mitochondria through red blood cell production. And also go heavy on things like vitamin C for immune defense, which is very important race week, and carbs. But don't go too crazy on the carbs. Just buy some Tailwind. I highly recommend Tailwind. It makes it easy. You don't have to be cramming the pasta, which is a bad thing to do anyways. It's 2023. Let's move past this whole fad of slamming pasta. We all love it, but let's evolve. And Tailwind is a little more scientific, and it's your body deals with it very well versus gluten, which can be challenging. Dairy can be challenging. Just be careful. I withhold caffeine race week, and then I have it again race morning. So these are some quick tips. Anyways, I've given you another 100 facts. But any last questions about nutrition before we go for a run today? Like literally, ask me anything. I worked in the nutrition industry for 20 years creating products. So questions about anything here. I worked for Runners Depot for many years. I'm a coach. Any race day, like I said, 600 calories, 2 to 3 hours before the marathon. Half marathon is 300 to 400. You need to eat for your whole day ahead of time, because otherwise you're going to be in bad shape. And we want you to be in good shape at the finish line, be able to have beers and dance and have fun. They got good music. Miami's next weekend. Anyways, questions? You can have beer after the race. We're going to have beer tonight after the run. Beer helps restore your carbohydrate levels, and it also relaxes your nervous system, which is good for recovery. Any questions, guys? Also, wine the night before is okay. I traditionally have 1 glass of wine the night before a marathon, and it does relax me and help me go to bed. But you don't have to do that. But I do recommend, yeah, you can have a beer though. Have a beer too at dinner. Do whatever. Don't listen to like some mindset where, oh my God, I have a problem if I have a beer here, you know, I should be like totally like perfect. Like there's no, you know, just like enjoy the journey too. That's what I always say. Enjoy the journey. But do be scientific and know what you're putting in your body. We're not just furnaces to burn trash, and we're not garbage disposals. And people found that out the hard way by getting heart attacks. You know, very healthy people who would eat junk food and think because they were performing at a high level that they could get away with it. And that's not the case. I haven't had fast food except for if you count Chipotle, but I haven't been to a McDonald's. And I'm no one to preach, but it's been 20 plus years since I've eaten any fast food. Like soda, all that stuff. Anyways, that's my speech. You guys, any questions? I can sign the books afterwards. I'm just kidding. Cut the camera.